You know, nobody's perfect, but let me say this: as a religious leader, you are expected to be held to do things at a higher standard because you're going to be held as a high to a higher standard. Much is given, much is required. Okay, but particularly when you are in the position where you are the highest appointed member of Hinduism or Buddhism. Okay, a little bit about Buddhism. All right, is Buddhism is basically like a Far East version of Catholicism, okay, or Christianity. Okay, Buddha is pretty much Kush or like the Pope. All right, but will be Kush in pagan terms. All right, so that's what that would be. Okay, I know they have different cultures out there in India. All right, say for example, like in India and a lot of the countries in Europe, like when the men would dance together, you know, at certain, I don't know, like festivals and stuff like that. Now, one of the cultures in India, it is what it is, y'all, is though many of the men that their marriages are arranged and the women are just used in many of them, not all, but many of them, these relationships just to have children. But many of these men that they spend time with another man, okay, their intimacy with another man, okay. I'm not saying all, not all, okay, but it's one of the old school rituals out there in India and probably a lot of the other countries in Europe, okay. And stuff like this happens in every religion, Christianity, Catholicism, okay, where boys are being molested or children being molested, that type of stuff, okay. So I'm not picking on just one group. That being said, this Dalai Lama guy, okay, 87-year-old man, uh, again, he's the highest appointed Buddhist, okay. Now, he was in Tibet, but because of a failed uprising, he was exiled down to India, okay. Tibet had a failed uprising against China and so forth back then, okay. So that's what happened there, actually, 1959. So that's basically, I don't know, like a little over 70 years, 75 years, something like that. Well, he asked a young boy to come up stage. He asked for a hug at first, and then I don't know, like a little peck on the mouth. And then asked this little boy to suck on his tongue. And I just thought that was disgusting. Okay, and I'm just thinking, what is going through this man's mind? Okay, uh, it's probably not the first time that he's done something like this. But again, that he's in a position where he's in. I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, regardless, okay, of him being on camera or not. But he's on world stage because he is the uh, highest appointed person. Okay, he's dealing with diplomats and all kinds of people. All right, other religious followers in that respective religion. Okay, and I've just scrolled through a lot of the YouTube articles. There's just article after article after article about this guy. Okay, they just cause world outrage. So it needs to be called out. I'm gonna call it out myself. All right, I'm really kind of like harsh when it comes to stuff like this, particularly when it comes to the children, especially. And that's what a lot of my main focus is going to be. Okay, particularly like again, if there's a, well, an offense happens like this, but when a child is affected, because I'm just thinking as elder examples and so forth, we have to start looking at the best interests of our children and their futures and all that, and make sure that they're not manipulated, or otherwise they need to be called out. This guy needs to be removed straight up. And if he has any constituents, maybe, I don't know if he has deputies, which he probably does, the deputy Dalai Lamas or whatever, okay? Probably in our religion, if you're a Christian or Catholic, there will probably be like deacons or bishops, all right? Then they need to be trained, okay, to be retrained about this behavior, okay? Because pretty much in every religion, all right, even in the Quran or whatever, okay, that bans you against that type of behavior, okay? Well, particularly with children of, and then on top of that, the same sex, but particularly like children, all right? So hey, it's what it is. Call a spade a spade. So let me know what you think about the video here, all right? Again, I just thought it was, just put it like that, disgusting. There's got to be limits. There has to be. Like, subscribe, share, and let me know what you think about the video here. All right. Thank you for your time.